Good day, everyone. Welcome to one of the main topics of basic computer literacy training of EdTech Teacher Training Center. And our discussion for today is about the role of computer in education. So I am Janahin Murata, the EdTech Teacher Training Center Administrator Director. So first, let us have the objectives or the expected learning outcomes of this session. So number one objective, to make students aware about computer. Number two, to improve the quality of education with the help of computer. To identify the role of computers in education. And lastly, uh, last of the expected outcome is to apply the computer-based technology in teaching pedagogy. So, so first, let us have this one. So technology continues to evolve over the years, and we cannot deny that. And integrating it into classrooms as a teaching tool can be very beneficial for students as well as teachers. Kaya nga, we are using computers because nakikita naman talaga natin yung effectiveness and yung benefits na nagagamit natin from using it. So, over the years, ang sabi dito, technology eventually or continues to evolve. So, from as we go back from the history of computers, ang computer noon ay isang parang napakalaking box. Sa over the years, lumiit ng lumiit, hanggang sa naging portable na lang. Minsan ang computer natin, naging handheld computers na lang, nasa kamay na lang natin. Nagsimula tayo noon, kung natatandaan natin, we have the mga monitors na hindi pa flat, yung kuba pa. And we have the equipments and sa ating computers, yung mga hardware devices natin, from cables to wireless, naging wireless na. At we can also observe na as time went by, became portable na nadadala natin kung saan natin gusto. And we have the system upgrades, yung computer upgrades, yung mga version nito, we have the upgrades over the years. So we have to bear in mind na ang term na computer literacy is always evolving based on the latest advancement in computer technology. So in terms of computer literacy, hindi man ito palagi. Okay? Kasi computer literacy is depending. So sa taon kung na present, yung computer literacy 10 years ago is iba sa computer literacy in the present. Okay? Because ang computer literacy noon is para sa noon. Right? And ang as the technology continually evolves, nag-upgrade din, nag-update din kung ano ang computer literacy. So we have here the role of computers in education. So number one, storage of information. So that's it, because we store the important data needed. Not only the copies of exam, the scores, the quizzes, not only that, but also the soft copies ng mga paperworks natin, yung mga reports natin, pati na yung mga important data natin sa school, and etc. Number two, we have the quick data processing. So mabilis na pag-process ng data. Kaysa naman sa manual, we have the computers na tumutulong sa atin para mas mapadali ang ating trabaho. Not only that, but for searching the needed data as well. Number three, we have here the audio-visual aid in teaching. Okay? Kasi nagre-reflect sa computer kung ano gusto nating i-portray. So, because we have visual learners, not only auditory lang. Let's say, for example, you are going to teach about solar system. or about stories, short stories. Sa mathematics naman, we have theorems na kailangan ng mga illustrations. So it is very hard for student to just visualize and imagine that in mind. Okay? So that's why it's very important na i-consider natin yung mga visual learners at makita nila yung actual picture ng ating mga pre-present na lectures or lessons. For students to visualize the situation in every topic. So they learn more when they see than just imagine. So that's what we have to bear in mind, to always consider the visual audio visual learners, because we all know that students learn more kapag nakikita nila. Okay? Number 4, access to the internet. Because limited lang ang gamit ng computer without the presence of internet connection. Because in the internet, nandun na lahat. Internet is where we all have the information needed. Okay? Internet, where all the information needed are there. Not only for students, but also for us, for teachers. Okay? So number 5, better presentation of information. So hindi lang about gathering of information, but also for the presentation of information. Hindi lang yung kinuha mo lang yung info, tapos hanggang doon na lang. They learn more kapag na-present natin ito ng mas understandable. So let's say for example, the use of PowerPoint presentation, showing video lessons that serves as visual aids for the better presentation. Okay? Because it catches the attention of our students. And lastly, quick communication between students, teachers, and parents. Okay? Because it is very important na mayroon tayong communications sa parents. Because ang parents, ito yung ating mga katulong sa pag-mold ng kanilang mga anak. And also for our students, for monitoring our students. For monitoring our students. Also, nandiyan yung mga follow-ups sa progress ng ating mga students. Also to update the parents about the progress of their children, for looking for more supervised time with the parents and the learner. So, napaka-laking tulong ng computer in terms of communication. So, kahit na nasa malayo, there's a distance between the teacher and the parents and students, still communication may exist. And that is the good side of using computer in education. Okay. So first one, computers are brilliant aid in teaching. Why? Because online education has revolutionized the education industry. Okay. So we have, especially during this pandemic, it's very more convenient and safe to enroll in online education. So you don't have to travel, hindi mo na kailangan mamasahe, hindi mo na kailangan makipagsiksikan. And we have the online schools kung saan pwede na tayo mag-enroll nowadays. So next one, computer technology has made the dream of distance learning a reality. Kasi kahit nasa ibang lugar ka, kahit nasa ibang bansa ka, even you are overseas or abroad, you can attend your dream school in whatever education track you want. Let's say for example, we have OFWs. May mga schools tayo dito na nag-o-offer ng online education sa ating mga OFWs. And we have also the Open University, Open Universities, transnational school, distance school, open universities na nag-o-offer ng distance education. Because that's why education is no longer limited to classrooms. We have the virtual classrooms that have no boundaries and that limited to only four corners of a typical classroom. You are attending class in comfort. Na you are just inside your home. Sa ngayon, we have the open transnational distance universities that offer flexible distance learning. Education is no longer limited to classrooms. And there are online educational courses whereby students are not required to attend classes or be physically present for lectures. Especially, it is pertaining to the asynchronous classes, wherein the lectures, the lessons are already recorded, and students are free to access those lessons in their own schedule, self-paced education. So it is very important, especially during this pandemic. Some schools are now in distance online learning. And pasalamat tayo sa computer and that it makes it possible. So because of computer, naging posible ito. Next one, computers have given impetus to distance education. So that is somehow related to our first role of computer in education. So internet can play an important role in education because all the information that we need are in the internet. Okay? Lahat nandiyan na. And we cannot attend online distance learning without the internet connectivity. Not unless kung naka-modular distance learning tayo. And not only that, hindi lang siya about distance education, but also for the data gathering and the data na kailangan natin for us to learn a specific topic. And next one, the internet helps teachers set test papers, frame questions for home assignments, and decide project topics. So because teachers can have some educational materials in the internet bilang reference sa pagtuturo. Okay? So we have may mga websites dyan about sa mga teachers kung saan pwede tayong kumuha ng mga downloaded materials, may mga ready-made test na, may mga class record, and even the reports na kailangan natin, nandiyan na. Nandiyan na rin yung mga guides natin and mga reference paggawa ng tests and questions, and even some topics na ituturo mo, nandiyan na rin. Okay? And we have these websites kung saan pwede tayong karoon ng mga activities. We have the Mentimeter, kung saan pwede tayong magpa-games, sa quizzes, and marami pang iba. And not just academics. Teachers can use web sources for ideas on sports, competition, extracurricular activities, picnics, parties, and more. So, in the internet, magkakaroon tayo ng ideas because we can connect with other teachers using the internet. We can ask them for ideas and knowledge at kung ano-ano pa na pwede nating pulot using the internet. And number 3, computer software help better presentation of information. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Because we have here presentation software like PowerPoint and animation software like Flash, among others, can be of great help to teachers while delivering lectures. Pareho nito. I am using the PowerPoint presentation for the better presentation ng aking lectures. So, kung noon nasa traditional lang tayo na Manila paper, chalkboard lang tayo. But because of our presentation using computer, we can have the better presentation of information. And nakakatulong ito for a better delivery ng ating mga lectures. Especially sa ating mga visual learners, presentable ang instructions and lectures sa mga students. It catches their focus na dapat mong i-grab dahil sa short attention span ng mga bata na ito yung opportunity natin para kunin yung mga attention ng ating mga estudyante. Pero limit lang tayo dapat sa ating mga animations, sa ating mga presentation. Kasi baka doon na mag-focus ang ating mga estudyante instead sa content ng ating presentations. So, limit lang tayo sa animation. Kasi doon na nawiwili ang ating mga students. Doon na sila nag-focus. Instead, na dapat doon sila sa content o sa nilalaman ng ating lectures. And also, make it readable. Huwag tayong magtipid sa slides because wala naman yung bayad. Okay? Make it readable. Huwag nating liliitan yung ating mga data or information na pinipresent sa kanila. Yung mga fonts, lakihan natin to make it readable. And yun nga, huwag tayong magtipid sa slides. Okay? Because it's free. Okay? Hardly use chalk and board today. That's it. As I mentioned, convenient sa teachers. No need na magsulat ka sa blackboard ng mahabang sulatin. It really saves the time and effort. Use the visual aid. Difficult subjects can be explained in better ways. So it eliminates the traditional way of presenting the instructions, the lectures na usually sinusulat natin sa Manila paper, sa chalkboard. Once you have the resources, it saves the time and money. Okay? Instead na ipambili mo na lang ng ng Manila paper, ng colored paper, or ng mga instructional materials, you can use the PowerPoint presentation. Next one, as I've said earlier, computers enable access to the internet which has information on literally everything, sa lahat. Both teachers and students benefit from the use of computer technology using the internet because nandiyan na lahat ng information is based sa discuss natin. Ito na yung result because of effective smooth of teaching and learning process. Students can submit homework and assignments as soft copies. Okay? Via email, via messenger. It's easy to submit their homework. Even sa paggamit natin ng mga applications or sa paggamit natin ng mga learning platforms such as the Google Classroom, pwede na sila mag-submit doon ng kanilang outputs. I will discuss later on a different topic, different session about the Google Classroom, navigating Google Classroom. So doon pwede na sila mag-submit. Even the teachers can post the evaluation, and from that post, the students can submit their outputs. Okay, not just via email, via messenger, and pwedeng directly na mismo doon sa learning platform na ginagamit ng students and teachers. And they offer robust storage of data and reliable data retrieval. Okay? So kung wala ka kung walang tayong hard drives or storage devices, even the internet provides the storage of data. We have the Google Drives. So let's say for example, gumagamit ka ng Google Classroom. So pag-submit ng outputs ng mga students mo, kailangan syempre ng storage sa pag-submit nun. And it all stored in the Google Drive. So napakaganda na meron na tayong storage ng data in terms sa outputs ng ating mga students. So, yun yung kinagandahan. It saves your files, reports, assignments, activities na nagawa na. If ever deleted, na wala, you can retrieve it as well. Kasi, andun siya. Nakasave siya dun sa storage. So, computer, hard drives, and storage devices are an excellent way to store data. Okay, so dito natin nasa-save ang ating mga data. So, pwedeng dito natin ilagay yung mga backup files in case na mawala ang ma-delete or ma-format man ng ating computers. At least we have the backup na naka-store pa rin dito sa mga storage devices. So, computer are no longer limited to any specific field. Because sa computer, hindi lang siya limited sa isang field lang. Hindi lang siya limited sa IT or sa computer systems. It can be used in marketing, in engineering, in business, and especially sa atin, sa education. They are used in networking for information access and data storage, and also in the processing and presentation of information. As computer should be introduced in early education. So, kailangan natin ma-introduce na ito sa ating mga kabataan, especially in early education. Because as I've said earlier, yung computer literacy is depending on the time. Computer literacy is defined, ang term na computer literacy ay nag-iiba depending sa kung ano na ang kung ano yung nasa update ng ating technology. Okay? As times go by, nag-upgrade din ng ating technological tools. So that's why as early as possible, i-introduce na natin ito sa ating mga students. So because it is very essential na. Hindi na siya wants, need na talaga siya. So I don't think I am making an overstatement in saying that computer education is as fundamental as learning English. Okay? So it is very essential na we are in the 21st century kung saan ito ay considered as the digital age. That's why kailangan na tayo, even our students, and as early as possible, na ma-introduce na talaga ang computer education sa kanila because it is a must. Computer in education enable us to, number one, teach more effectively. With computers, we can individualize instruction, grant students the autonomy, and empower students to learn at their own pace rather than wait for the teacher's personal attention. Okay, for example, I just uploaded my video lesson sa aming group chat, even sa ginagamit na learning platform such as Google Classroom. That way, I can be always present to my students. Okay, so, kasi sabi nga dito, we grant the students the autonomy and empower students to learn at their own pace rather than wait for the teacher's personal attention. Okay, so just make sure na kapag na-discuss mo na yung video lesson mo, nandiyan na lahat, comprehensive na. Kasi kapag may tanong yung mga students, di natin masasagot yan. Okay, di natin masasagot yan sa ating discussion. Kasi recorded na eh. At some points, kasi mayroon silang hindi naintindihan, it affects the entirety of our lecture. Example sa math, processing yung mathematics sa pag-solve. May isang part lang ng solusyon na hindi mo na-explain ng malinaw, so damay-damay na lahat yan. So make sure na comprehensive and clear yung ating mga lectures. Okay? So each learner benefits from having an omnipresent tutor to individually tailor schoolwork. So that's it. Pag sinabi nating omnipresent, laging nandyan ang kanyang presensya. And that is possible because of computer. Okay? So, meron nga tayong uso ngayon, yung YouTube University, na kung saan yung mga students natin is YouTube na lang, nag-YouTube na lang sila ng mga lessons, nandun na yung mga videos. So, always accessible yun sa kanila, always present, and kung kailan nila gusto, ma-access nila. So, that is the beauty at kagandahan naman ng computer in education. So, to teach more effectively. So, in terms na hindi sila maintindihan, they can always look back. Reach and teach more students. Ito yung kagandahan. Computer and internet access can expand the educational horizons of children in isolated rural communities. Children with limited community resources and those children who are homebound because of disability or illness. Usually sa classrooms ngayon, yung ratio is nasa 1:40 to 60. So one teacher, merong 40 to 60 students. So it is very hard for teacher to maintain the classroom management sa ganyang setup. But because of technology, because of computer, we can cater a lot of students. Okay? So, lalo sa sinabi dito, internet access can expand the educational horizons of children in isolated rural communities, kagaya ng mga nasa probinsya, di ba? Kahit because of online education, kahit nasa malayo ka man, you can have the quality education. With limited community resources such as the school supplies, may mga kulang because of computer, we can provide that. We can sustain that. Instead of buying dictionary, you can have application of dictionary, the software application. Instead of buying the computer, instead of buying a calculator, rather, meron na tayong calculator sa ating mga handheld computers. Sa ating mga special child na nasa bahay lang, through computer and internet, they can attend classes, interact, and learn. And hindi lang limited sa four corners of our classrooms ang teaching and learning process. Next one, make the world our classroom. Okay, you can have the whole world as your classroom. You can have all the students in the entire world as your students because of the internet. So students with internet access can directly tap resources in their communities or venture beyond the neighborhoods. Students can draw from limitless books, articles, pictures, and sound clips, follow links to the experts or virtual field trips, and participate in real-time communication across the globe. So they can search for the resources because computer has the ability to make yourself self-learner. Computer provide dictionary to get the meaning of typical words. You can improve your typing speed with typing software, which make you self-learner. You can use internet using computer example, YouTube tutorials, reading materials, also the calculator, nandiyan na. As you immerse longer, exposed longer in using the computer, you will find yourself being a self-learner. So meaning to say, yung computer in education, it makes no boundaries for learning. As long as you have the desire to learn. So we have this saying that if you don't want to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. And that is one of the most important aid of computer sa atin. So I hope our learners help themselves because learning is also their responsibilities. Okay? So kahit ano pang gawin nating pagtuturo, kahit anong gawin nating tumbling sa pagtuturo dyan, kahit anong gawin nating efforts, if the students really don't want to learn, we cannot force it. Okay? So sana ang ating mga students, they are determined to learn and help themselves. And using the computers and the internet, they can access all the information. Nandiyan na lahat. I-access na lang. Kukunin na lang nila, babasahin na lang, papakinggan na lang. Nandiyan na. So nandiyan lang yung pagkain, kakainin na lang. And that is one of the beauty sa paggamit ng computer. So next, get ready for the future. So yung technology, it encourages us to interdisciplinary and collaborative work, facilitates problem learning, and provides an outlet for students to express their creativity. Students at ease with technology will be assets for future employer. Okay? Kasi gano'n naman talaga. That's why it is very important na i-introduce natin sa mga students as early as possible yung computer education. Because as they grow as adult, pag mag-a-apply na sila ng trabaho, it is a must na kukunin ng mga employers ay mga computer literate talaga. Because as I have said, we are in the 21st century, digital age na pagtrabaho. And it is really needed. Yung skills sa computer, talagang needed na siya. Computer is one of the main tool because computer is one of the main tool in most of the workplaces. And one of the skill required in the workforce and employment is what? Is being computer literate. That is why it is very important that ICT as a part of the curriculum at the early stages of our students. So we have with the new technologies. We have the interactive whiteboard kung saan talagang dyan na nakakapag-drawing, nakakapagsulat interactively yung ating mga students, even us, teachers. So an interactive display that connects to a computer and projector. So napakaganda. So it is used in many settings, sa classroom, corporate boardrooms and work groups, training rooms for professional sports coaching, broadcasting studios, etc. So we know the typical whiteboard. But in computer education, we have this one. So napakaraming gamit ng interactive whiteboard in different settings. That makes it very useful. So we have here the scanner highlighter. Makes it easier to copy text from books and store in computer. So napakaganda. I-highlight mo lang yung mga text, tapos may store na siya sa highlighter, and transfer mo na lang sa computer. So no need to write it. No need to write it manually. Copied text can be stored in Word or Excel for editing or as PDF for searching. So napaka-useful nito also sa research and studying. You have the netbooks, tablets, and smartphones. So ito na siya. Portable devices that enable users to share and work anytime, anywhere. Kasi dala-dala lang nila eh. It is considered also or called also as handheld computers. Ito ay designed para dalhin natin kahit saan and fit sa ating mga bags and sa ating mga pockets, ating mga bags. So application software for many uses, useful tool for students and teachers, which is na-discuss na natin kanina, for researching, for studying, presenting information, storing data, and attending classes. So real-life uses of computers in education. So in teaching and learning, discuss na natin ito. Testing and evaluation, we have the quizzes on Google Forms, software applications, meron tayong Edmodo, meron tayong Google Classroom, we have the quizzes, the Mentimeter, marami bang iba dyan. na pwede natin gamitin for testing and evaluation. And it saves the time sa pag-check kasi nandiyan na lahat. Pagkasagot ng students, may score na agad, may grades na agad. We also have the guidance purposes para ma-monitor natin ang ating mga students and for better supervision because despite the distance, we can have the connection to the students and the parents. We have the library and information sources because we can have the content of books as soft copies. Information are all in the internet. Meron din tayong tinatawag na mga electronic libraries kung saan nandun na ang mga books na ma-access natin using the internet. We have also for the school administration. We have the system management para sa mga school administration. Pwede doon na nila makita yung nandun na ang mga data sa mga grades ng mga students, sa outstanding balance in terms na meron pang mga hindi nagbabayad sa tuition, for example. Subjects enrolled, nandun na. Pwede makita yung mga subjects na ino-offer, yung courses na ino-offer nila, yung schedules, scheduling, pwedeng magamit doon, and teacher loads, and etc. So there are many uses in terms of school administration sa gamit ng computer. So doon naman tayo sa negative effects ng computer sa education. So good teaching requires a personal connection. So ito yung disadvantage naman. So dahil nga through computer ang communication at medium ng pagtuturo, it lessens the personal interaction. So that's why teachers, we have to personally connect with the students. Kasi yung personal attachments, kailangan natin yang i-maintain despite the distance between the student and the teacher. And a teacher gazing at a student who is gazing at a computer screen is not teaching effectively. Okay, yung bang tinitiglan lang ng teacher yung computer. Okay, doon lang siya nagtuturo. Kausap niya yung computer, hindi yung students. So yung students din, tinitingnan lang niya yung monitor, yung computer itself, but not the content or the lecture ng teacher na nasa harap niya, nasa computer. So, para bang siyang nasa classroom setup, may ihahambing din natin. Kumbaga, kausap lang ng teacher yung blackboard, hindi yung mga students. So, yung mga students, oo lang ng oo. So, pareho yung discuss ka lang ng discuss, hindi yun. So, iwasan natin yun. So, paano? Kailangan natin silang tanungin. Kailangan kausapin natin yung mga students natin during our lessons. So, para magkaroon tayo ng interaction, we have to remember that the curriculum is student-centered. Naka-focus yan sa estudyante, nakasentro yan sa estudyante, not teacher-centered. So, we are just the facilitator. So, i-discourage natin yung spoon feeding. So, dapat mayroong interaction because we are just the facilitator of learning. So, next, the internet is unmonitored, filled with erroneous information, political propaganda, and phony research. So, as we know, there are so many fake news that are spreading all throughout the internet, especially in social media. There are political biases. Information must come from a reliable source. Dapat alam natin yan. So kahit tayong mga teachers, hindi tayo exempted dyan. Mag-ingat tayo sa mis and disinformation. So laban na natin ito dahil as we all know, we are the bearers of truth. Lalo na ngayon ang maraming cases of history revisionism. So nakakahiya naman kung tayo mismo ay naniniwala sa mga maling information, sa mga fake news, and worst, maituro pa natin yan sa estudyante natin. That's the worst case scenario na maturo natin sa ating mga estudyante yung dis and misinformation. So that's why it is very important na hindi lang computer literacy. Kakambal din yan yung media and information literacy. Okay? Kasi, as I've said earlier, all information are stored, or all information and data is in the internet. All the information is there. Pero hindi niya pinipili kung alin yung false and factual information. Okay? Even the false information is still information. So dapat mag-ingat pa rin tayo. So also there are websites na dinidiscourage natin, yung wiki.com. So hindi ko na ituloy, wiki. So may mga erroneous data diyan kasi pwede siyang ma-edit yung mga information dun. So that is not reliable. So next, the digital world remains divided. Technology amplifies economic disparities, awarding clear advantage to children from wealthy high-tech homes attending wealthy high-tech schools. Okay, so yun yung division. Kasi sa mga private schools, usually meron din mga high-tech computers, facilities. So nagkakaroon ng division. Because not all capable of having computers. Kaya naman providing the needed technologies to the learners is a must para malabanan natin itong kind ng division na nangyayari. And to have equity among the learners in terms of learning gamit ang technology. So it is very ideal naman kasi talaga to think na one tablet or one computer, one student. So next one. So for students who discover technologies unwelcome, not tripping them up at the door of most career options. Because it is a must that in employment, an applicant must be computer literate. So ang computer literacy is depending on the time. So iba yung computer literacy noon sa computer literacy ngayon because of the system upgrade ng ating technology. So 21st century na tayo, digital age, where all people has the literacy in computer. So last one, computers are a health risk. Computer use is associated with increased eye strain, repetitive motion injury, and the obesity that comes from a sedentary lifestyle. So it is important to take care of our health. Protect yourself from harmful blue lights na nanggagaling sa ating mga electronic devices. So nagkakos yan ng ating eye strains, also sa ating mga lifestyle. May mga routine kasi na pagkakain diretso sa computer, yung magdamag na nasa computer, maghapon matutok sa computer. So we may not aware pero it really affects our health. So in everything, there must be a moderation. So kapag pagod na tayo sa computer, magpahinga, and wag masyado tayong ma-expose sa pagharap sa computer. And also mayroong mga cases ng addiction of using computer, especially sa ating mga kabataan sa paglalaro ng mga computer games sa ating computer. So in everything, there must be a moderation. Okay? Dahil kailangan natin pakatandaan na ang ating health is wealth. So our health must be our priority. So as I end my session, we will have this quotation from Bill Gates. Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is most important. Dahil tayo, ng mga teachers, tayo ang best visual aid. Tayo ang best tool. Tayo ang best instructional material sa ating mga students. So, here are my references. And on your 2-paragraph output, you can have this one: what is the essence of computer in this time of pandemic, and how can you execute it? So that's it. Thank you very much.